Another day, another space event. Welcome everyone to the end here of the Space Economy Congress here in Barcelona in Spain, the 6th edition that we've seen. And the theme here was resilience through space infrastructure. And on the first day of the conference, someone kind of summarized this theme very neatly by saying, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu. And the table, to me, became sort of a central theme for the discussions that we had here. It started already on Wednesday in a pre-event that was about what they call invited ecosystems, where we looked at collaboration between regions, in this case Catalonia and Emilia-Romagna in Italy, and how this cooperation can lead to cross-fertilization, if you like, of ideas, of innovation, of capabilities, of lots of things. And it's really good to see how every year this conference brings in another connected ecosystem, like Flanders, like Scotland, like Occitanie last year, and like Emilia-Romagna this year. And we're looking at the future of the space economy in Europe. And one of the tangible initiatives that is that's being taken here in Catalonia is the organization of the International Astronautical Congress in 2029, IAC 2029. I'll put the website link here in the video. Now, we talked about space, but really we talked about what space means to Earth. Space in itself is not really a theme. It is all about what space can do here on Earth. We're seeing, for example, wildfires, unfortunately, right here in the region. Several areas here in Catalonia are struck by wildfires because of the very high temperatures at the moment. And this is the same in France, in Portugal, in Italy, in Greece, right now. And this is only one of the application areas that emphasize the importance of a resilient space infrastructure. And of course, wildfires, climate change is not the only application area. We talked about infrastructure, energy supply, driverless cars, all these things were talked about. We talked about initiatives like artificial intelligence for data, all talking about applications here on Earth. We also talked about the fact that often in space we talk more about ideas than actually doing things. And Maria Antonietta Perino from Thales Alenia Space said it really well, that at Thales Alenia we are welding and not making PowerPoints. And that is what is needed. Industrialization, scaling up, actually making things, commercial off-the-shelf product, creating a commercial ecosystem. And thanks to the organizers, the Generalitat de Catalunya and the Cambra de Comerç de Barcelona, this is happening here in this region. But scaling up requires customers. And we talked about that as well, where several sessions described the same problem. Lack of anchor customers, slow processes in institutional procurement processes, difficult to find the right institutional funding. We need to streamline this in order for this scaling up of the ecosystem in Europe really to happen. We talked about the space workforce. Talent is, in a way, an infrastructure. Talent is industrial capacity with a heartbeat. It's a really nice quote. And we need to work on our education, but also on creating careers, jobs in the industry, and exciting people about space as a viable opportunity to build a good career here in Europe, not in the United States or in North America, but right here in Europe. And that kind of highlights one of the issues that we have with the space economy in Europe that was mentioned a lot, is fragmentation. It's a recurring theme at many events that the European space market, if you like, space governments, regulation, funding is very much fragmented. Some call it a good thing because it triggers competition, but in general this is seen as a bad thing. So regulation, funding, procurement, launch, industrial policy, and national duplication are areas that are impacted by this fragmentation. On a more positive note, space is disappearing. and that is a good thing. We like in the space industry to think that we're unique and that we are an industry in by itself, but really we are providing a service to all other sectors of society. Making space invisible should actually be a goal. Connectivity was used as an example. It should become seamless. Whether connectivity comes through terrestrial networks or space networks, to the user, it is irrelevant and it shouldn't matter. Earth observation is another area where right now the process to go from satellite images to actual information is cumbersome, is lengthy, is difficult. This should become automated, proactive, and integrated in existing systems. We talked about actions for resilience. What is it that we can do? We have to make choices, focus on capabilities that are important. We have to buy things that work, build at scale, connect the ecosystem, and invite the world to join Europe in its quest. So summarizing, we have to build this table together. The next chapter of the space economy will belong not to those who predict the future most accurately, but those resilient enough to build it together. Collaboration is the key. And with that, we end the Space Economy Congress 2026. I'm really looking forward to seeing you here again in Barcelona for the Space Economy Congress 2027, and of course at the IAC in 2029. That's it for me. Back to Luxembourg. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.